YouTube, let's pull this thing. Alright, so we got the engine out, sitting on a tire back there. Never again. And we got this thing ready to go in, but after pulling it out, I noticed that the Frontier motor mounts are not going to line up with the VG30 motor mounts that I have for this truck. And the stock ones for that are completely wrong. So I had to run to the junkyard, picked up stock VG30 D21, well, WD21 from a Pathfinder, but should be the same engine mounts. Convoluted lower bracket mount, upper bracket for both sides. Kind of crazy. And then while I was there, managed to get a fan set up. Not bad. And pretty clean Pathfinder seat. Placed my torn up one with a bent bolster on the back. It's a little wet right now because I just cleaned it off, so it's still in the middle of drying, but that'll do much better than the seat I had in there. And we just have to cross our fingers that the new headers and those mounts don't interfere. I also did test fit to do flywheel. Have to figure out flywheel bolts, because the KA and the VG ones, as much as it seemed like online to be the right size, KA ones are quite a lot bigger. And actually, if I put them next to each other for you, this is a KA one next to, hopefully you can see it through the bag. Yeah. And that's the, well, flex plate, but you can see the thread pitch and diameter are much smaller than the one for the KA for some reason. So those aren't long enough. Those are obviously too big. I need those in that length. I'm also severely procrastinating pulling out this trans, because this trans is heavy, especially with the transfer case. And as far as I'm aware, it's just me doing it. I don't know if I'm gonna get some help, and that sucks. I gotta pull torsion bars. I'll do it, but last couple times I pulled the transmission out of one of these trucks, I hated every minute of it. So that'll be fun when I get myself up to doing that. All right, done some test mocking, and we're half lucky. So there's one header, clears by miles for that mount. Only crappy thing is an eBay header. A couple of these holes need to be opened up a little bit. That's my O2 port. That's not enough room. Hopefully, the threads do go all the way down. Hopefully I can cut this down enough to clear an O2 sensor right there, but we'll see. And then this one, if you look from above, I don't know where the firewall sits here, but there's really just enough room for the trans tunnel, so I'm hoping that clears the firewall. If not, I'm gonna have to cut that off, put it down here or something like that. And then here's where we're half unlucky. There's the Vg30 Pathfinder mount, and it is, well, you can't really tell, but yeah, it's not entirely bolted up. And we're hitting, I actually tightened that into it to create a mark, because, well, I think I'm just going to hammer it. It is a truck, why not? This one runner, even hammered halfway through, will have more flow than the entire manifold used to have. If you look at this, this is the stock manifold outlet right here. Yeah. And there's internal casting right there. I don't know if you could tell. Internal casting blocking about half of it. So, yeah, that's not very much flow, especially when it's also, like I said, previous video, into a catalytic converter immediately. This thing is junk. Create something like this and then slap a supercharger on it, wonder why it only makes a few more horsepower difference. Well, that's why. And also it leads to problems like cracking, which, yep, this manifold definitely leaked. I know the one on my daily Xterra, especially the passenger side that this is, definitely leaks. What the heck, Nissan? Not their most questionable thing, but hey, still annoying. I don't know why I like Nissan so much. They got good style, I guess. One thing I do have to remember to do, since this is a newer engine, is somewhere back here. Yeah, this guy right here. I've got this guy. That is, I believe they call it a cam position sensor, a crank position sensor, something like that. But basically, that sits like that. I believe it picks up the teeth on the starter. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's meant to pick up anything else back here. But over on my transmission, since this is an older transmission, it does not have it. It does seem like it has, I believe this is the casting mark on where it goes, so I will need to drill that out and make a spot for it. Also, here is a closer look at this transmission. Also, while I'm here, might as well test this fan for you. So this is this engine never came with a fan. Stock one for this engine probably would work in the truck, but this is a WD21 Vg30 fan, and it fits. Pretty close, but I feel like that's probably how it was meant to be anyways. But that one fits perfectly. Even have the shroud for it, so that's nice. Not sure about 4x4 to Pathfinder, since the 4x4 trucks do have a body lift. Hopefully that fits. If not, it didn't have a fan shroud before, so I'm sure it'll work fine. And that being said, I can grab, this is the hard body stock K1, and it's very similar, but if you notice, that little neck right there, just a little shorter on that guy. Otherwise, it does line up the same on here. But also, where this fan mounts, pretty close to the back of the overall fan, versus this KA1, it's pretty much in the middle. Might be pretty close, but when you do line that up, yeah, it doesn't quite fit. Sure, if you found a way to get a spacer in there, that would also work. But yeah, that wouldn't work. So all the things I was hoping to reuse, but hey, luckily we found that in the junkyard. Another part of this swap that we will be doing is, so obviously that engine is going to have a new power steering pump, power steering lines that match the steering box. My stock box is pretty worn out, so I figure might as well use the one from that. I have no idea if it fits up to the stock steering linkage. That being said, I'm not using the stock steering linkage. These D21s have a problem since they've got joints on both ends of this center bar, essentially walking back and forth, changing toe under load. And I've replaced everything in the system once already. There's play in it. It's already worn out my idler. It's one thing I did forget to mention. I did make this idler brace for it, and I'm sure that's helped keep that straight. It's still wore out though, probably just because a lot of extra twisting motion on that center link. So I have the stock Frontier one, which, yes, it does still have a double joint on the box side. However, on the idler side, this is not a ball joint style. This is just a spherical bearing style. So this should help keep it from twisting and giving you that active toe when you're, you know, on it, beating on it on the trail and stuff like that. So just trying to kind of modernize it, get rid of the weak links, hoping it looks like on the Frontier frame that these were all the same mounting points between the idler and the box, and then from there hopefully the outers are the same, or the center link's the same. Something should be the same in this. If not, I'll cut the thing in the middle and weld it and make it work. But either way, I'm fairly confident this should fit. That being said, I was fairly confident that I wouldn't need new motor mounts either. But hey, this is why I'm doing it, just to figure out what is all different in this Frankenstein monster I'm making. Alright, and apologies for the vertical filming. Second time I made that mistake. I'm still new. But what's going on is I have hammered the absolute crap out of this thing. Still a decent amount of flow. I'm not sure if I want to hammer more, but basically this just barely touches. Oh, you can't see it, it's too dark. I'm sorry. But basically, it'd bolt on. It's still going to touch a little bit, which I don't know if I want to just send it or give it a little bit more clearance, give it at least an air gap. Just what I'd prefer, but that for being cheap eBay metal, it's pretty strong stuff. That thing does not want to go anymore. And then, taking a break from that, I decided to put the new seat in. I know, nothing too exciting, but I'm excited because I've had a worn out seat in this truck as long as I've had it, and yeah, feels pretty firm and nice, so that's what she said. And just to compare, yeah, this is my old blown out seat. This thing sucked, and this half of the back did not stay upright. It's kind of braced right now, but I mean, heck, you could probably even tell a little bit there. It's walked this way and had somebody in the back pull on it. It just kind of bent it and broke it, so didn't really support you at all. And with this thing going in, yeah, I'm gonna want to stay in my seat. I mean, not the most powerful thing, but it'll have some torque. And that, between the soft suspension, I have seen a previous video of somebody with a Pathfinder with this swap, and they could do bounce wheelies. Not legit wheelies, but it'll take the front tires off the ground, that's for sure. That being said, that's all I got time for tonight, or this week, and I don't want to pull that transmission, but that is pretty much the next step. So next time you see me, that's what we'll be doing. Have a good one, YouTube. Good night. The vertical